Dumela mo Africa. Libitso ke LESEGO wa Gatau. I'm a human development practitioner by profession. There's an issue that I want to speak about, and I think it's very urgent. If you're going to have a problem with sharing this video because of all Lela data, we'll never get to the masses and people will never get to hear the message that I'm trying to communicate. Based on this topic that has been frustrating me, and I felt the need to record. It says there, the horror of customer service in a black community context. Hackle the horror, that word, I even bolded it there and put some color. It's the horror of customer service in a black community context. Particularly with public servants. The rest, I will find some time to speak to you guys. But this is being said with respect. And like I always say, I don't want to know because this affects Batu Haholo. Now let's talk about this. Public servants. Some of you in those offices, your customer service sucks. And I think you forgot when you went into that interview room that you seek employment. You have turned our black people into beggars when you have to serve them. There's a couple of institutions that I want to speak about here. It's just a few, but there are a lot of them. These are the ones that I noted and I thought they need to be addressed. If you have a family member or a friend that works in this institution, I'm saying to you, share this video until it gets to those people. Some of them, of course, they're doing great work, they're doing wonderful work, but I want to get to those that think that they own these public institutions. Let me start with this first one, and I think you're all going to see it. The first one, SARS. An entrepreneur just started a business. They know nothing about the type of documentation that is needed. They go to the SARS offices for assistance. And you find our black sisters and black brothers treating each other as if you own SARS. When a young entrepreneur gets to your office and they're seeking assistance just for a tax clearance, you treat them as if SARS, you have shares there. What is wrong with, next customer please, Dumela Abud, what is wrong with that? Just being calm and being patient with the person that is requesting service from you. You behave like you own this institute. I know of a SARS that usually serves us very well, and I know that with you guys, you have other institutions that serve you very well. But I have those that I prefer. I can go to the SARS in Deep Club Zone 6 and you have your own. They will treat you like you are in this special institute. The type of customer service we get there, it is top. You go to other SARS offices that I've experienced, it's worse. You get there, you greet, and somebody says to you, what is wrong with you? You requested this employment. For you to serve people, now it's an issue. What happened with Batupeli principle? Serving the person first. Now this institution, it's yours. You are hired, do your job. Remember, you were trained to work at SARS. The end receiver of your service had trained you, but they know how they should be treated. SARS, improve your service. And some of the officials at SARS, we have this bad tendency that when people report some of your employees there, you never take it up. Let's told, and you need to be told. You are a manager, you are a supervisor, you are hired to manage the people on the floor. Do your work. There are professionals that go to SARS, they seek assistance, and you think they know nothing because on that day, LESEGO will be wearing just the push-ins and a short pant with a lousy t-shirt, and you think you can just scan me and treat me the way you want. I'm not going to keep silent. Some of us are committed to make sure that you get fired when you give people a wrong and a poor service. SARS, particularly the supervisors and the managers, when people complain, take these issues up so that we can get a proper service. The next institution that I'm going to talk about here, Home Affairs. It's already known that when you get in there, you have to fix your emotions because there are even chances that you can be even more on the front desk. Remember, I'll remind you as well, you are dealing about serious matters, tamalaping. What is wrong with you saying, Dumela Melekai, Ngao Tusaka ing? Horunalena go sebetsa mo, you are not the master of that institution. I repeat, some of us are committed to make sure that you get fired in that position. Because how it's been 2 years in. What is with this horror of poor customer service in black communities? You must stop it. Now I go to some of these institutions just to sense and to suss out proper customer service. I go there to analyze, to see, but to nonsense. You are hired, you wake up in the morning to go and serve people. You don't own the institution. Home Affairs, particularly the supervisors, make sure that you attend to the people on the floor. They must work. Let them get to work. One of the Home Affairs that I fancy the most, the one in town in Johannesburg, the CBD. Man, you will get treated very well there. And I say to the people that are managing that place, every time when you get to the Home Affairs in town in Johannesburg, the supervisor is on the floor checking if things are working. I don't know the type of experience you got there, but every time when I go to the Home Affairs in town, I get the best service because the supervisor is on the floor making sure that things are moving properly. The next institution, South African Police Service. What is wrong? What is wrong with our public service? You are an officer, you were trained. Maybe the subordinates in that office, or maybe the supervisors, you have to make people or to remind Batu who were not to stamp. Say, who stamp. Go, they have to feel stamp today. Just an affidavit. One thing that makes me even more frustrated, it's somebody going to a sub's office requesting a simple thing you take that piece of paper or oh, now we were quick to forget or now you are in that position. Wait a minute, we are working here. You said treat people with honor, because how you were hired to work. Do your job with pride and always remember the Batopele principle. How's I say? Maybe some of you have forgotten it, but I know in every HR they stress this issue. Batopele, where now you were trained. The next office that I want to speak about, this one is worse. And a banner here. I even worked here. I worked for the health department, administrative clerks in local clinics and hospitals. Hey, can I please talk to you? Lona, you are even worse. LESEGO oh, what's a simple thing? How fits on Dembela Makilo guy? Puma, can't they get? Is it the reason that there's some sort of satanic spirit circulating amongst public servants? What is wrong with next patient, Melikai? What is it that your vaults, your emotional vaults have ran out of goodwill? Treat people well, and that will take you very far. Remember, people will forget what you taught them, but they will never forget how you treated them. Make sure you treat people with care. Department of Health, when people report these cases, take them serious. One cannot be going into a local clinic, and when you get there, you get a service that sucks. Some of us feel the need that we can even initiate the movements that make sure that people get fired. Next one. The court of law. Even these ones, they are so arrogant. Magistrate courts, the court of laws, you can mention them. These ones are very arrogant. They know for most of us as a black nation, you get there about Rafula, man. You understand nothing about the legal jargon. Administrative clerks, the paralegals, all these courts. Now you work in these courts. You own the judiciary. so own a judiciary, you don't want to listen. Kore motho ha botsa gore mme case ena ho etsahetse eng hobaneng e kwetswe ya tsama o lo botsa bana ha ba tsebe. You are hired to advise and to guide. The horror of customer service in a black context. Come on, Batum. After all these years, we still have this self-hate amongst each other. I'm a human development practitioner by profession. Ke sebetsa ka batho. Ke tseba bohlokwa ba ho tshwara motho hantle. Hobane ha o tsebe hore motho o a ka o etsetsa eng. Stop what you're doing. Lona haholo ba sebetsang in these courts. Listen to a person. There's nothing to lose. Advise this person properly because you don't know hore ngwana hao o tlo ya go kae ha tswa mo. Le yena ba tla mo tshwara ha bohloko, and never forget hore ntlo tshwara batho jwang. Ra qeta. Universities. Lona ilela seleka. Universities, particularly the administrative office as well. This child o qeta ho tswa ko matric. They get into an institution, they are blank, some of them. Yes, as much as we have career guidance officers, advisor on what to do, but when they go to the institution itself, they are blank, some of these kids. What is the crime in advising this child for our qualifier, or if you are on the waiting list, on the waiting list? For me, who are on that waiting list, what is required? How do I gain access to this institution? No. You are an administrator, but now you own the University of the Witwatersrand. Now you own University of Johannesburg or Free State Education. Why own? Yeah, ngwana wa botsa o tsebo ngwana o ba mo file tšhelete ya o namela ke yona ya o qetela e mkgono a nana le yona o mo tshwara hampe ngwana o tswa mo a le crash. And remember, a crushed young person can just turn around their lives like that. I don't do any drugs because of the poor treatment that you give them. Learn to advise. Stop this horror of poor customer service. Universities, open those doors so that these kids by fumane tuto by shokan. These ones, I'm here, Kibona. The taxi industry. Hey, those people are very quick to forget. These ones are even worse. You know, taxi owners, they are seated at home thinking that the taxi drivers are going to handle. And some of these taxi owners, through the associations, they reported again, I want to drive by how. Drive by how it tells about money tracking. Drive by how it swells the community happy. But you are not taking these issues up. I so wish that this video can trend. We need to stop this horror of poor and bad customer service in a black community context. Nah, I will never keep quiet and shut my mouth because we are hired to do what I'm saying. Who do a taxi driver? You! And then you want some of us to keep quiet in the taxi. Whether you're a driver or a go taxi or you need to be addressed. Mamera, some of us don't have this thing about taxi driver. We never all these outside countries. I grew up in South Africa, very much streetwise. So we will never allow you, as a young person for that matter, driving that taxi with what I'm saying, or your fellow brother and sister, wake up and leave. We all serve people. Which I was saying, trafficking, we don't serve about company. A teller, we don't serve about. Everywhere we go in business, we are there to serve people. Serve people with pride because in my area of gifting, I need to do something about it because I'm in the area of developing a human. That's the work that I do. So there's one thing that you trust. And you rush to it. Let's talk about it. And I need to speak to unions. Most of you as public servants, you give us this bad treatment thinking that the unions will stand for you. Can I speak to the trade unions? I'm pleading with the highest office of these unions. If you know that your members are misbehaving at work, discipline them. Do not protect distorted behavior. Discipline them. Because there's no one who wakes up in the morning and say, I'm going to receive bad treatment and I'm ready for it. Stop it. Latswana, and some of the bank tellers as well in some of these banks, you must improve and stop your nonsense. You go to this mainstream education, dikolo, what you register this clerk or this administrator who receive and give them a good treatment and give clarity and advice. No. Also, stop what you're doing, because the time is now to change this behavior. Best customer service is what we are lobbying for. Wherever you go, never be silent when you are treated bad by public institutions. Even if it's not public institutions, generally, do not agree to a person that will give you poor service that is being paid for. I'm LESEGO and I will continue lobbying for people to live in harmony and in synchrony. I'm saying, as people, we need to coexist. Gone are those days where we treat another we are slaves.